Hey guys, it's finally done. After what feels like decades of work, Super Mario Universe is finally released. So this playthrough mainly exists for people who just can't get their hands on the hack and just want to see what's up, or if you've already played the hack, this would be good for just seeing some like developer insight, I guess, on like how things were made and stuff like that. I'd rather you guys play it yourself before you watch this, because there are some pretty cool things that happen and I'd rather not spoil it for you, but these are kind of meant for if you've already played the hack, you can come watch me do it and see the thought process behind it, I guess. So, if you'll notice up in the left corner it says Beta version 2.0, that's because this is being pre-recorded before release date. My goal is to be able to upload these pretty much daily after release date, just so everything comes out in a nice stream, I guess. This is being recorded about a week before release, so not a lot is going to change between now and the final version of the hack. I don't think it's a huge deal that I'm recording this a week early. Without further ado, let's jump into Super Mario Universe. It's been a long time coming. All we're told at the beginning is that Mario's ship crash landed. He's got to continue on foot. So, we start off with only one place to go, the spaceship, so let's just look in here. So this is sort of like your little safe hub in the game. These text boxes just explain the instructions, but there's also a cutscene that does it in case you decide not to hit these for some reason. There's a tutorial in here that you will eventually have to go down, but if you want to just explore the ship, you see that there are 3 Switch Palace blocks here that keep you from getting into the door. Each one of these doors leads you to the boss fight that you fight at the end of each of the planets, and you can always come back and refight them in case you wanted to for some reason. I mean, you get 1-ups for doing it, so I guess if you're into that, you can always do that. And then over here, sort of like the top secret area in a way. You're just given power-ups to screw around with. I wanted to make this game as accessible as possible, so you can save at any point in the game, and you can also come back here and get power-ups whenever you want. You know, pretty much any skill level can beat this game if they really put their mind to it, as long as they use all the tools I provide them, you know. So this is just in case you need it, just so you know. So let's head down the tutorial pipe. For one, it's a tutorial on the new moves, but it's also a tutorial on how cutscenes are going to work in this game. Now, this is the only cutscene you can't skip, you actually have to watch it, but it just instructs you that you can hit A to advance cutscenes. And during cutscenes, during this developer walkthrough, I'm going to be quiet and just let it roll, unless there's something I really feel the need to point out, so here's the first cutscene. So, pretty much this little tutorial is just for new players who have never played a hack with a wall jump before. Just gives you a little room to make sure you know how to do it and all that stuff. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory for the most part, but just in case, you know, you never want to assume a player's skill level. So, pretty much, the 2 new moves I added sort of makes this feel like a new Super Mario Bros. Game. Because this little mid-air twirl is meant to like correct a jump mid-air. You have to press A to do it though, which is the same button as spin jump. So the way I have it set up is I use A as my run button, and X as my B button, my jump button. Then I have Z as my spin jump button, so I can just shift my middle finger down to it and do the midair twirl easily in midair. If you have a controller, I would highly recommend setting up a shoulder button to A as well, so that it really feels like a new Super Mario Bros. Game, because you can just do the twirl with the shoulder button. I feel like that's the most efficient way to play, but it just makes you do one here. And if for some reason you really can't do it, you can still clear this gap without one, if you're not bad like me. There we go. Just in case, for some reason, if you really couldn't do it, you know. And finally, he just explains a bit about how the game works in general. So a little fun fact about this tutorial. This is literally the last thing I made for this game. Or one of the last things, aside from a few like little minor tweaks. It's because when I first sent this out to a couple of my friends to play test some things, they struggled a lot with the new moves because a lot of them don't play Super Mario World all that much. This is literally just so you know how all the new mechanics work in the game, or at least control-wise. In reality, I'm kind of dumb for not including this in the first place, but you know, you get a little taste of how everything works before you actually have to do it. Alright. Now we get to play some levels. So right away, I took out the map viewer on the big overworld, so when you hit start, it just brings up a save prompt now. I did this for one, so you couldn't get the whole map spoiled for you right away, and two, like I said, I wanted this to be as accessible as possible, so you can save after literally every stage you play, so that way you're not going back super far if you ever game over. And right away you have a split path, so like the tutorial explained, you can do this game in any order you want. As long as you activate all of the switches at the end, you will be able to beat the game, technically. So, just for a developer walkthrough thing, I am gonna do it in order, but if you wanted to, you could always go right here and explore some of the other planets first. But for today, we're just gonna stick in World 1. Alright, time for the first level. Run, jump, throw. So, I guess the first thing I will say is the title Run, Jump, and Throw. That is a reference to the one song from Super Mario Odyssey. I thought it fit the stage too. The first level in a hack is always the most difficult to design. The challenge is creating something that's fun for players who know what they're doing, but easy enough for players who don't. So, the little mechanic I teach is that you can pick up these blocks and throw them for extra power-ups and stuff, and this level's pretty much a playground where you're just given these blocks and you can throw them up and stuff, and it sort of gradually teaches you the more things you can do with them. We have little enemies exploding out of the bricks here, and it's supposed to be like a little forest. Another thing I will mention is a lot of the textures, the custom textures in World 1 were done by my friend Hendog. Like these fences were, and the flowers were that you see in this level. Like these little bushes and flowers down here are as well. Now we're gonna get to our first secret room. So the secret rooms range from puzzles to just bonuses in general, but I thought it'd be fun to have a little puzzle in this one. So all you want to do here is just throw the Koopa shell down at this. If you throw it this way, it's not going to hit the block. Obviously you want to hit the block. But if you throw it while this guy's facing this way, then he kicks it into the pit. When in reality, what you want to do is obviously not that. If you kick it at him when he's facing the opposite way though, it spawns the vine. And you get a little bonus power up. Alright. Halfway through. I'm so bad. But yeah, the Yoshi coins are functionally identical as they were in Super Mario World, so nothing too groundbreaking there, but, you know, still fun little collectibles. But yeah, this level's all about just like picking things up and throwing them, pretty much. Alright, cool. First level down. There's not a cutscene in every stage, but I felt like 1-1 would be a good stage to have a cutscene to have, just so you get a little better idea of like what your goal is. And it also is there just to set up a joke that happens later on, which we're not going to get there in this episode, but alright, on the Dark Sewers. Alright, here's where the levels get interesting. So this is also one of the only stages that I actually did something crazy, or not crazy, but this is the only stage where I really modified the background in a, like, kind of significant way. And it's not even that significant, all I did was just put the little mini pipes in the background. It's kind of a cool touch though. These little pipe textures here were also done by Noaj too, and they just blend perfectly with these blocks. He really outdid himself with this. So yeah, sewer stage. And here's where we get to one of our first new mechanics, pickup pipes. So as the text box says, you can pick up these pipes and set them down wherever you want and teleport between them. Also, the doors with the R's on them are just reset doors. I mean, that's fairly obvious, but still. So we also have our first puzzle introduced here. Obviously you can't kick that up there. So you come over here, grab the P-switch, activate that, and now you can throw it up there. Kind of a fun little secret, I guess. There's only one spot where they're really mandatory to progress, which is right there. And even then, a well-timed spin jump off this piranha plant, or a very well-timed wall jump will get you up there. But a beginner will just do this right away, you know. Then there's another Yoshi coin down here if you notice the kind of awkward terrain. Alright, so we use the pickup pipes here again for if you want the power up. Just throw it up and grab the fire flower there. And then there's another spot up here for you to throw up to. You get a P-switch. And you could activate it right there, but you could also carry the pipe a little bit further up to where the bricks are. And activate it from here. Everything the pickup pipes are used for in this area, it's all optional, but it's all cool too. For this Yoshi coin, just do that, and then that. And then you can throw the pickup pipe here, and get into this pipe. which gets you the final Yoshi coin. And also, I forgot to mention, the mushroom on the overworld was also done by Nudge. I'm really impressed with how he did the pixel art. It looks phenomenal. Or every other custom art on this was done by me though, like the little mossy factory thing. That was done by me. And here we have the sunset background from the end of last stage. And our next mechanic, the Propeller Block. Now I know these are seen all over in ROM hacks, but it's too cool not to use. Pretty self-explanatory, all it does is give you a higher jump. I'm not gonna go for 100% in terms of Yoshi coins, because there's not an extra bonus for collecting all of them. They're just there to be fun to collect, you know? But if I see one, obviously I'll go for a bit. So here you can go up there, but you can also glide down there and grab that. And if you lose the propeller block somehow, it is theoretically possible to complete the level, but these jumps are pretty tight. But yeah, for the most part, this is just your standard World 1 athletic level. The setting still looks nice though. And then for this little spot, you just jump against the wall and glide down. Then you can wall jump here for the coin. And reach the end. On to our next level, which, I mean, hopefully you recognize the title. And maybe saw this coming by the pixel art, but I recreated Steam Gardens from Mario Odyssey. So this is my interpretation of it. These little sort of factory blocks, or I guess metal blocks with grass on the top, was inspired by artwork from Tater Tot Tunes, but I sort of translated it into 16-bit Mario World style. The artwork he did was in 8-bit, and just like in Odyssey, there are Fire Bros here. Obviously none of the little onion things, because those don't... How would you even do that? Then you get some wall jump practice and stuff. And in these little rooms, all you have to do is kill all of the enemies to progress. Because it makes the pipe turn light, lets you go in it. For this coin, all you gotta do is something like that, but if you miss that, you can always jump on him while he's on the munchers down there. And we reach the checkpoint. And this part of the level is a little interesting. It's the only time you go left in the whole game, but I just thought it'd be kind of cool. Well-timed wall jump will get you up there for that coin. And here, the two arrows just sort of tell you it's probably a good idea to fly if you have a cape, I mean. But there's extra coins and stuff everywhere. I will be flying here though, because it gets you to a bonus room. And it skips the second enemy gauntlet too. Gets you a little one-up for your troubles. And then one more Koopa jump. I'm just now realizing how much I like those, apparently. And there we have it! Steam Gardens in Super Mario World. Or at least my attempt at recreating it. Next up is Tree to Tree. This is the boss stage. So, I mean, as you probably noticed, there aren't any castle levels in this game, just because I'm not a big fan of designing them. So I just opted out of them completely. It also opens up a lot of opportunities for like creative settings for bosses and things like that, which I definitely took advantage of, you'll see here. Here we have flip blocks. They're pretty much trampolines that you can only bounce off of once before hitting the ground again. The red ones aren't affected by you, they're only affected by sprites, which is sort of taught here by this little rock that only lets you down when it makes the blocks flip. There's a Yoshi coin hidden up here. I will not lie, in terms of like just level design in general, this is probably one of the stages I'm the most proud of. Also, I don't know why you can't kill those guys with fireballs, but whatever. I think the mechanical progression in this stage is really well done. I mean, not to toot my horn, but it's a nice and simple stage with these little guys. And it has a fun little bonus room too, so if you take this shell up and around here, you can set it down on these blocks, make it down here, into this pipe, for a little bonus room. There's another little puzzle. So you see you have to get 2 sprites somehow into these places to get to the prize below. And you only have 1 Koopa, but if you jump on him like this, you can take the shell down here and grab that. That's the little solution to the puzzle. That's also one of the bonus rooms I'm most proud of too. I think it's a great idea, or a great use of that. I don't know. This is just a stage I really like how it turned out, I guess. And our next cutscene in World 1 here. Here we go. So yeah, here's the boss. I thought this was kind of a cool way to introduce him, have him burn down the forest and really be a threat before you fight him. Also give you some story reason to fight him too, save the forest, all that stuff. And so much for our hero we just met. He's gone. So the second half of this level is a fiery area. And I won't lie, this is kind of designed similarly to what I would imagine a castle to be like, but setting's so much cooler that I actually had inspiration to make it. You know, we have all the dead plants that we saw before in the stage. The dead versions of the plants I did myself, but it wasn't all that hard to alter them. And I really like how it turned out too. You know, just a basic fiery stage. If you want to be risky here, you can go for the coin. You know, you can spin jump on these guys. Pretty crazy, huh? Little wall jump there for the last coin. And into the boss door. So this little wind sound effect is from Kirby's Dream Land 3, which is really convenient because someone had already ported it over. Pretty much whenever you hear this, something exciting is going to happen. And in a boss stage, if you have a room like this, it obviously means you're going to fight the boss, so here we go. Fry Guy plays exactly like he does in Super Mario Bros. 2. So, you're given plenty of throw blocks, you just have to throw them up, hide under these platforms to avoid the fire. I missed. Oh, it worked anyways. And then he breaks apart into little flames. You have to not get cornered and kill all of them. There's some extras up here. My strategy, if you're struggling with this fight, is to stay low in his first phase, and then when he splits into flames, get up high and use the higher blocks to kill him. Because the flame can't get up here once it's down there. And there you go. Bit of an awkward position to end in there, Mario, but... And after all that, we reached our first Switch Palace. The Switch Palace stages are just little bonus rooms. You can jump around and collect all these coins if you're into it. These flying coins also reload, so if you really wanted to collect all of them, just walk around a bit and more will spawn in once you've had your fun with that. Hit the Switch Palace. We've made it 1/3 of the way to making it into Bowser's Space Base. So yeah, that's World 1. I tried to do the most with the whole standard grassy plains thing. I'm pretty happy with how this world turned out. It's a nice introduction into stuff and a little place that feels at least a little bit at home before really jumping into the space part of this hack, which is most of it. So yeah, next time we'll be exploring the second planet and a few space levels in between. See you guys then.